So hello, I just want to make a few videos here to help driving instructors with their part three. And one of the reasons is that I see a lot of people that come from these larger schools and they're right on the edge all the time. So they've taken it and they get 29 points, 30 points when they really need 31 points. And this is potentially changing to 33 points at some point. So but when I look at their part three forms, their marking forms, what I'm finding is there's certain areas where they're falling down on that if they were better, just got a few more points in those areas, they would have passed the test. You know, they would have easier passed the test. And one of the areas is on the risk management. So, for example, on the risk management, that's what we do as driving instructors. We do that every day. We just manage risk. Obviously, you're not going to take anybody onto big busy roads, or if they can't steer, you're going to have to find an area that's maybe a car park or a very quiet area where you can practice their steering. So that's, to me, that's what risk management is. I'm managing the risk of these people. I'm controlling them. I'm trying to push them forward, but I'm making sure that their needs, what they need, potentially their steering or their braking, their understanding is there. So that's me managing risk. But going back to people that I'm seeing that have failed, and if they fail 3 times, then they're out. So all the money that they've spent, they're just literally wasted. And then if they want to go back and do it again, they've got to be 2 years after they pass their part 1. So depending on how quick you've done it, depending on how long you've got to wait. So risk management, you've got to score 8 or above to pass. Okay, so 7 is no good or below, you'll fail. It doesn't matter how well you've done on the rest of it. And sometimes I look at people's fail sheets and I'm seeing that it's in particular areas that they fall down on. So for example, instructions given to the pupil clear and in good time. So a little tip for you is try and remember this: ADI, alert, direct and indicate. So for example, at the roundabout, okay, I'd like you to go right, which is your third exit. You could add to that, the roundabout, I'd like to go right, which is your third exit. It's marked towards Congleton, for example. So all the information is there. In good time. So just think about this. You want to make sure that you're not too far back when other stuff could be going on between, but also you want to make sure you're not too near. So in that good time when they've got time to be able to carry out their MSPSL maneuver. The next thing, and this is a big thing, I see this a lot, is not making sure that it's safe. So as a driving instructor, you should, because you're managing the risk, you don't want to give someone the instruction and then not know who's by the side of us. Okay, so people might say, well, the pupil should check. But yeah, they should, but they've got other stuff going on, they're learning. So before that, we need to look. So prime example is, before you give them instruction, make sure you physically look over. Make sure that's clear. Make sure you can see in their door mirror and your mirror if there's someone approaching. You don't want to be giving the instruction at that point. So check first of all that it's clear, safe. Then give your instruction. Then focus on the pupil. So you literally want to be literally looking at them, right? Yeah. So you can see the move in their eyes for the mirror check. You can see that they're actually using the signal correctly. So little problems here could be they're taking their whole hand off, potentially could flash someone. So making sure, I normally just say like flappy fingers. And then the position, okay. So you can see them moving into position. Speed, are they getting the speed at the correct time? Now we do a lot of automatics, but if you're in a manual, that they've got time to get the gear, bringing the clutch up. And then looking, okay, are they looking? Can you see them physically looking, reacting on what they're seeing? Okay, so as the driving instructor, the trainee driving instructor going to the part 3, you're handing it to the examiner. He can see that you are literally working through this whole situation. So yeah, that's just point 1, and I'll be making a few more of these videos, just little bite-sized ones that you can think about. So just think the alert, direct and indicate, and then what you're doing before you give the instruction, making sure that you're watching them while they're doing the instruction, and then you'll find that will just move up those points and hopefully get you a pass. Okay, thank you for listening.